Okay, so we're on to Chatty. What we have here, it says that Chatty manufactures three products, I, A, N, in, which uses the same resources but in different amounts. It says that Chatty also buys in a special component from an external supplier for product A. So for product A, we also bring in another raw material. And here are the monthly demands. So you are restricted, unfortunately, by machine hours. Again, there are only 30,000 hours. So I I suppose I think then maybe the best thing is to sort of find out, well, how many machine hours do I need to make each unit? So you can see here, it says here, you're looking all down, you see labor, 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 and it tells you variable overheads here, £2 per machine hour. So you can see, okay, right, great stuff. So I need, in terms of machine hours here, if I'm paying £2 for each machine hour, I will need 5 hours here, right? Because 2 times 5 is 10. And here you'll need 6 hours, and here you'll need the 1 hour, right? So 5, 6, and 1, right? Because it tells you £2, um, and so on. So you know how many hours you need. That's the first thing. So but first of all, let's, I guess, of course, calculate the contribution. So the question is, contribution, of course, is just the selling price minus all the variable costs, and just do that right across. So my contribution, of course, for I would be 100 minus all of these. So let's just do that on the calc very quickly. So that's 100 minus 100 minus the 10 minus the 20 minus the 16 minus the 10. And that takes us to 44, right? So 100 minus all of this. This was 56. When you add all this together, you get 56. Take that from 100 and you get 14. 4. Let's do the same thing here. 200 minus all of this, including this special component. 200 minus £7.50, minus 30, minus 12, minus 12, minus 65 takes us to £73.50. And we'll do exactly the same thing here. 50, yes, 50 minus 15, minus 5, minus 4, minus 2, right? And that takes us to 24. So I have this. I'll just change my pen color just to look at that. So it says, what's the contribution of a machine hour? I know I need 5 hours here. I know I need 6 hours here. And I know I need 1 hour here. So 44 divided by 5 is 8.8. Yes, so the contribution per machine hour here is £8.80. £73.50 divided by 6 is £12.25. And 24 divided by 1 is 24. So in terms of ranking, I'm going to make this first. I'm going to make this next, and I'm going to make this, right? Because 24 is greater than 12.5 is greater than 8. So let's make them. So I need 1 hour here to make these 6,000 units each. So that's 6,000 of my hours gone. So I can make all 6,000 of these, no problem. I need 6 hours to make each of these. So 6 times 2 is 12. So I need another 12,000 hours. And I still have space. So yes, I can make all of those 2,000 units. So what do I have left? So I have 6 plus 12 is 18. I have a total of 30,000. That means I have 12,000 hours left. 12,000 hours left. And I need 5 hours each to make a unit of this one. So if I need 5 hours to make one of them, 12,000 hours must be 12,000 divided by 5 hours, and that's 2,400. So you can make 2,400 units of I, and that's your starting point. You're like, okay, yay, great stuff. So that's kind of the first bit. Okay, so yes, what we have is something slightly, just a different format or a situation. So the argument here is that do we make our components in-house? That's sort of the argument. Or for product A. Remember, we were paying 65 to bring this thing in. We're now saying, scrap this. Don't buy this. Let's make it in-house. Right. So in a way, you're saving on 65, but you are accruing a new cost of this. So in a way, you could just sort of think about it. If you add, okay, you say, okay, what's the new cost if we make it in-house? Well, the new cost of making it in-house is 17.5 plus 20 plus 8 plus 4, and that's 49.5. So in a way, you are saving, because if you stop buying the cost, but buying the component from outside, you are saving on £15.50, right? So in effect, your contribution will change. Yeah, so if I did this, my contribution will literally change. It'll increase by £15. I mean, everything's going to stay the same, of course, with these guys. I'll just slot those in. Nothing's changing for this product and this product. So it's still 44. But this is different now. This is now currently 73.50. I'm going to be adding on a £15.50, right? So £73.50, £73.50 plus £15.50 is 89. So my contribution changes to 89 now, and this is still 24. What is different though, if you notice, is that let's just change this a little. Your current um, cost of machine hours here is 12. If you decide to make this in-house, it's going to be 12 plus 4, right? 12 plus 4, which is 16. And you need £2 to make every machine hour, so you're going to need 8 hours now. So things will change. So here when you had 5, now you will have 8, and here you will have 1. So you will have what will look like this. You need, changing my pen color, you will have 5 hours here, 8 hours here, and 1 hour here. So the ranking will look interesting now. So this will not change. This is 8.8. This is 24. And 89 divided by 8, 89 divided by 8 is 11 point, well, actually still the same thing, 11.1225. So the ranking doesn't change from as far as this is concerned. We see we will make 1, we will make 2, and we'll make 3. But production will be slightly different because you're now taking up more of those hours in making A. So let's do it. So I will use my again, this is going to be straight. I will make 6,000 units here because that's what I'm making first. I won't have a problem. Then remember now, to make these units, I need 8 hours to make A, and 8 hours, of course, 8 hours times the 2,000. 8 hours times 2,000. Oops, 8 hours times 2,000 is equal to 16,000. So you've got 6,000, you're using up another 16,000, so you can make all of B, sorry, all of A, this product, no problem. The question here is, well, how many hours do you have left? So 6 plus 6 is 22, so you have 30,000 as total, so you have 8,000 hours left, right? Because you have a total of 30,000 hours. You use 6,000 for in, 16,000 for A, because you need 8 hours to make each of A, and there's 2,000 units to make, and therefore you have 8,000 hours left. And so therefore 8,000 left divided by 5, because you need 5 hours to make each of these guys, is 8,000 divided by 5 is 1,600. So you can make 1,600 units. Right, good stuff. That's that. The question wants us to now look at whether or not, in terms of which gave us the greater profit. And so let's just sort of work it. We're just literally saying that, well, if we go with option 1, we have, these are the units, these are the optimal units. So let's just do it. I'll just do it in this space over here and rub this out later on. So option 1 would have been 2,400, 2,000. What am I doing? Let's just get this. 2,000. And finally, 6,000. So you have here 44, 44, 73.50, and 24. Versus here 44 times 1,600, 89 times 2,000, and 24 times 6,000. And then I'll take off my fixed costs, because you're told in the question that you have, because this question is asking for profitability, I'm told that I have some fixed costs of 200,000. I'm going to take off, when I get my answers, I'm going to take off my 200,000 and see what I have left. And I'm going to do the same thing, take off my 200,000 and see what I have left. So let's quickly run through that. So I have here 2,400 times 44, and that's 105, 600. I have 200, 2,000. I have 2,000 times £73.50. and that's 147. And then I have here 6,000 times 24, and it's the 144,000. So I'm going to take all this and deal and see what I have, and then I'll quickly pull in this one. Here I have 1,600 times 44, and here I have 70,400. I have here 2,000 times 89, and I have 178,000. And here I have 6,000 times 24, and I have here 144,000. And then take that away. And let's see who's higher. So doing the first one, I have 105,600 plus 147,000 plus 144,000 is equal to that minus 200,000, which is 196,600. That's my first one. And then here I have 70,400 plus 178,000 plus 144,000 minus 200,000. And here I have 192,400. So this is better. Keep buying the component inwards, and then you have a higher profit. And that's kind of, so the difference in profit is the difference between the two. And 192 minus 196,600 is 4,200. That's the difference. So 4,200. So in effect, keep outsourcing. Sorry, yes, keep outsourcing the product as opposed to buying it in-house. And let me just tidy this up in terms of answering this question about decisions or considerations. As you can imagine, there's quite a few, and you might have to write about them, and you want to be comfortable with that. In terms of considerations with outsourcing, lots of things. I think probably the most important thing about this is control. You don't have any, you have very little, you have, if any, control over the supplier, right? That's the point. You are dependent, aren't you, on the supplier. And then there's the quality control. You cannot, well, when I say control, I mean even control of the supply, not even to do with quality, just supply chain control. You are at the mercy of your supplier, unless you have an exclusive contract for them to deliver. So if you need the special component to make A and you cannot get it, if you like, then there's a problem, even though it's cheaper. So then there's a question of quality, of course, which is another thing here. So if another major issue. So I mean, it goes both ways. The truth is that by you doing it, by you outsourcing it, you're saving on certain costs, because if you were doing it in house and you wanted to change and switch, you would have to consider redundancies. Imagine you want to shift a product abroad or just away from where you are and have it done externally. You will have to deal with redundancies. You might have to deal with employee revolt. The local community might not be pleased because this is a source of employment, if you like. And maybe this is part of your unique advantage, the fact that you actually make products locally. So these are some of the issues to think about. Let's look at some of the ones they've given. So they've talked about quality, right? So that's the question here. The quality of is something to think about. This question of quality. They talk. I think again, ethics, I think, is a good one here. Whether you decide to go out and um, whether you decide to go out and buy something, you're putting jobs at risk. If you're reducing the quality, or if it's just cheaper to buy things, this is actually very normal. You do have supply chains that will end up outsourcing. Again, here, like I said, I think the problem here is that if you do have the spare capacity, it may be advisable to use it. So it says a chatty does have an abundance of labor and materials. What will they do with this? So maybe again, you might have to make those tough decisions about redundancies, if you like. I think those are some of the key ones. But I think supply control, quality control, ethics, impact on redundancies are some of the key points there. And employee revolt, and if you like, whether or not this is your advantage, making it local. Okay, great stuff. Yeah, and that's a good that's question, and that's question. It was a bit long, but 197.